everyone, Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. The talk today is tomatoes. Did you know that a tomato plant could be a perennial, growing and producing tomatoes year after year? Amazing, right? What's more amazing, in 2007, the Guinness World Book of Records recorded a tomato plant that was 20 foot by 30 foot and it produces over 32,000 tomatoes a year. That was hard. I had to relook at that several times. Where, you wonder? The Epic's Disneyland greenhouse. You could see it from a ride above. So how can it be? We all watch our tomatoes wither and die at the end of the season, sometimes earlier, and I'm going to tell why. And how can this be? I'll tell you why. These are actually tropical plants thought to have come from the Andes, which is now Chile and Peru. And they were first cultivated by the Incas around 700 AD. That's shocking. Like a prehistoric plant almost. So, again, why did they die back at the end of the summer? Because they're plants that like the heat, right? No. The tropics don't go above 90 degrees. So when our summers get above 90, that's when they're really straining. So there are the two plants that I'm going to go about. They're Determinate and Indeterminate. They're dying because they're having heat stroke, the poor things. Okay, let's talk about the two main tomato types. First is the Determinate. I call it the soldier or the military plant. Why? Well, because they have uniform height. Never staking is necessary. They look great for pots. They're bush look. I actually use them as a perennial, well, not a perennial, but as a walkway border. They look great. Perfect, right? Their tomatoes are cookie cutter, and my greenhouse is like, we're really high winds here. So they're perfect fruit, cookie cutter fruit. So if you have a particular determinate plant, it'll produce the same tomato. Perfect for restaurants. One problem. As soon as they produce, and they produce in a large amount of tomatoes, it dies. Kind of sad. So why buy it? Well, it's great for hot areas such as southern states, Australia, or anywhere that it's really hot. They could plant these tomatoes and have a crop finished by the middle of the season. Then they could clear it out and get the property ready for the fall crop. Also, if you can or you need food to store, it's great you have that earlier. That way you can focus on the later crops that develop. So, now I'm going to talk about my favorite tomato, the Indeterminate. I call it the hippie tomato. It's wild. It grows different fruits, different sizes. It's everywhere. It's the furthest thing from a cookie cutter tomato. So that's what I have here. All of these here are Indeterminate. So, but again, if these are the types that are going to be perennials. If you're going to have a perennial tomato, it's going to be a Indeterminate. So how can that be? Well, let me tell you why. Have you ever looked at the fuzz on these tomatoes? The Determinate has some fuzz, the Indeterminate has fuzz everywhere. Longer than the Determinate. And did you ever smell it? What's doing this? It's called the Trichomes on a tomato plant. These trichomes give it the certain smell, and it does some other things. It's a repellent. A lot of things don't like the smell. I like it. It also is antiviral, fungal, and bacterial. So it also holds the water. So these little ones on the leaves hold the water so it dries. But most important for me is these little trichomes produce roots. So I did a test. I was going to pop this up while we were talking. I bought these plants at the same place 2 weeks ago. Amazing, right? I took this one and I put it and buried it, took off the stems about this deep and let it grow. This one I put in a pot level, and it's not root bound or anything, so there was still plenty of room level here, and this is what happened. Okay, this one we used the trichomes, so we put it in here, and I'm going to show you how. About this far, I dropped it in. Now I'm not going to do as big of a pot because I plant my tomatoes in about 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not going to catch up with this one. Cut off these little leaves, we don't need them. Really wiggle it in there, and then you plant this. I don't want it any deeper because I want the roots to go this way. That way it's very stable on the ground. I'm going, did you notice I'm using my hand? I'm so happy. Okay. Now, same soil. I'm using the Miracle Grow, 50% and 50% compost. Okay, can you see the difference? It's amazing. Okay, now, I also started some seedlings. These are the yellow pear. I'm going to show you a great dish later in the season. But why did I start these so late? I'm going to start tomatoes several times during the year, because as the heat really gets to these, I have another crop that I'm either going to put in a cooler area at the end of the summer, or even move it into the greenhouse, so, and make it a perennial. So, but I love talking tomatoes, and we skipped yesterday for a video because we were worn out from Easter, but we got a couple little fun comics saying they're waiting for the next video. I'm going to put those at the end of this video. It was fun. Please subscribe, please like, and share us with tons of people, and I love questions and comments. Have a great day. Bye.